Are you watching the film Companion Bong Adda? I'm sitting here with 3 directors who are all extremely compelling. They make very interesting films, none of which really fit into sort of hardcore Bollywood mainstream. They all also happen to be Bengali, and we're talking about the Bengalification of Bollywood. Just before this, there was a very intense discussion on whether Anurag Basu, who was supposed to be in that chair but never showed up, can actually be cast as Satyajit Ray in a biopic.
Young Satyajit Ray, no, not a biopic.
Not a biopic. Nepotism should be somewhere
in the background.
As you were saying, in the coffee house, imagine dhua, shaft of light coming from there, and there you can see the silhouette of somebody, and somebody says, as he's planning to do in his film, "Hey, Manika."
Yeah. If there's a lot of smoke, yes.
So we're basically casting
Yeah, a lot of smoke, we see smoke, that's it. Then it's good.
Okay guys, the fundamental rules for this Adda, since I'm the only one on this table who doesn't speak Bengali, you cannot say mean things about me in Bengali, and you cannot speak to each other in Bengali.
बोलियो तो बुझ भी ना.
I don't speak Bengali.
Nothing.
Guys, come on, I'm the host.
No, okay.
And do not...
बोलेंगे भी तो समझोगे नहीं आप.
अच्छा, like that.
नहीं बोलेंगे नहीं. क्यों कुछ बोलेंगे?
Because we love you.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And no speaking to each other in Bengali, we are a startup paying no money for subtitles.
That I agree with.
नहीं that you have to. अगर उपाय नहीं है.
You might as well come and make film with us.
No, upay hai, we speak English. No.
It's too much at times, you know, when you have to, that feeling of oh shit taking over us. I mean, कैसे आएगा? How will it come?
But I will be with you. I'll speak in English. আমি ভালো দলে.
So, you know, I've been doing sort of a very rudimentary research on kind of the Bengali influence in Hindi cinema. And of course, some of the greatest films have been made by Bengalis. I mean, starting with the iconic Bimal Roy to, Rishikesh Mukherjee, Basu Chatterjee, Shakti Samanta, Aradhana, Amar Prem, my full-on melodramatic favorites. But as far as I can tell, this is the first sort of focused wave where there's so many. I mean, apart from Anurag, there's also, of course, Shujit, who is currently tied up with Piku and couldn't be here, who are making films in Hindi with a very distinct Bengali sensibility. Do you guys think there's a reason for it, or is it just coincidence that all of you happen to be here?
I think it's complete coincidence that we have come together. It's like perhaps a professor of mine had one told me, "Onko ashe?" And no, arithmetic aata hai, onko ashe na. Tale onkon hobe. Then you can draw. If you don't know mathematics, you can draw. So I think something like that. Kuch nahi aata to shayad kuch kare isme. That's all I can say. So, but
Is it coincidence?
I think so.
Purely.
Yeah, because see, we have all been here for a long time. And I think it's only when, all the work comes together, you tend to stand out a little. We were all there. It just, I think it depended on us when we could deliver something good. I think there's a coincidence when we are all delivering something good at a particular point. And it creates that milieu of, Bengali directors are here. We have been here. We hope to be here.
But Punjabi directors are also here.
Yeah. No, but traditionally it has been very much a Punjabi stronghold. And the fantasy that Hindi cinema offers has been traditionally the Lehrate Khet, the Karwa Chauth, the Gora Chitta Munda,
There's a reason for that. There's a socio-political reason for that, historical reason for that, because I think what happened was, I'm not talking about the Bongs, I'm talking about the Punjabis, because it's so typical of me to speak of Punjabis in a Bong show. I think what happened was that the reason why Hindi film became what it did from 1950s to 1970s at least is because a sizable amount of the Punjabi intelligentsia, the Punjabi intellectual which used to live in Lahore, which used to live in Punjab in Pakistan, moved en masse to Bombay from Karachi and Lahore, and they made plays and they made films. And all of that was about the partition and the trauma of partition. Hence, the huge trope of the lost family. The earthquake, the family disappears. The Mela, 2 brothers are bichhodod. And they come back and again and again and again. And it carried on till the 90s. So what we speak about as the Punjabi stronghold is actually not a stronghold. It actually is the same kind of a wave as the Bengali wave. We never recognize it because probably the Punjabis say that, nahin, we are not alternative. I think Bongs, if we are here, there is a reason. We were the first people to kind of learn the techniques of the Western civilization and the language of the Western civilization. And the three of us who are here, this is not the first wave. In the 1930s, most of the top directors in Bombay and Delhi were Bongs. The technicians were Bongs. In the 1950s, they were Bongs in many, many ways. So it keeps on recycling.
ये complete coincidence है, you would say, कि एक साथ मिल गया. हो
But
सकता
is it hard to sort of not impose but tell stories that are Bengali, given that, you know, I mean, like Sanjay Leela Bhansali set his worlds in 2 films in Gujarat. That's his, you know, his world, his milieu. Is it hard, given that we make so much of sort of North Indian worlds in Hindi cinema, is it hard to sort of say, no, we will do a Bengali thing? Is there anything you have to struggle with?
No, I don't think that's the case. See, one of the reasons also you're noticing right now is because of Kolkata. Okay,
Yes,
suddenly,
I was coming to that.
suddenly
That's become a character.
yeah, suddenly you're seeing a lot of Kolkata around you, right? Thanks to films, thanks to cricket, you're seeing a lot of Kolkata around you. And initially, what used to happen, Kolkata did exist in films. Okay, Kolkata did exist in films. Yeah, I mean, there was always a Howrah Bridge, there was always some trams here and there. People went into Kolkata, shot a song or a scene and came out. I mean, your Ramar Prem, for example. But now what's happening, I think what we are getting a little brave about is actually going out of Bombay and setting stories in Kolkata where you're using Kolkata as a character. Okay, and that hopefully is the toughest part. You know, how many films can you set in Kolkata? I mean, like Woody Allen keeps Manhattan, right? So I mean that's the trick. You know, that's how much literature can be, and Bengal has a huge plethora of literature, right? So he can make Bomkesh till his dying day, and his son and his grandson can keep making Bomkesh, right? So I think that's, you know, what you were asking. That's the toughest part in terms of seeing how much can we use Kolkata to make our films.
What is it about that city that keeps you all going back? And what does it offer that Mumbai doesn't?
It is a character, no doubt. And visually, you don't have to worry so much.
Why?
It's beautiful. Wherever you place the camera, you get a visual. In Bombay, you have to make the frame. I'm talking visually. I'm talking about old part of the Calcutta. It is not the new part. New part is as usual, the same kind of metro, same things, same hoarding, same everything, except Bong lettering. But that whole, when you go to North Calcutta and all, everywhere you find some kind of a beauty. Something, somewhere, even if it's rugged, it's tuta futa fit, still there is some, that is a sensibility I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a very upper class Scandinavian kind of sort. It is a different look. In Bengali stories, it becomes an obvious thing to happen because you are from there. Like when we placed Parinita there, it was because we had to do it. Because you can't think of a place suddenly somewhere else. Similarly in Bomkesh, Kahani is a different story because I guess he wanted that as a complete the spirit of Calcutta plus also the character, right?
But Dibakar, you agree with that? That visually, wherever you place a camera in Kolkata, it's beautiful.
I'll speak from my experience. Bomkesh's Calcutta is actually the Calcutta of my imagination. The Calcutta of my imagination is a city with deep urban roots. For example, if we are having an adda in this coffee house, in Calcutta there are chances that 40 years ago, in this coffee house, Shakti Samant and Rishikesh Mukherjee and some top critic of the day would have had an interview. Those are the chances of serendipity and historical connections in a city like Calcutta. So when I used to read as a kid, as a 12-year-old kid, I used to steal Bomkesh Bakshi books because we were told not to read. Because Bomkesh Bakshi books were, not allowed for kids. The Calcutta that Sarodendu Banerjee wrote was completely at one with the detective. It was dark, it was gaslit, it had very, very mysterious turns and corners, and secondly, it had very distinct neighborhoods. North Calcutta was fantastic. It was the home of the Bengali. Suddenly you will go to the westernized Park Street area, and that was an adventure for a Bengali. Because to go to Park Street and meet some Anglo-Indian or some Shahib, as they used to call some European British guy, and see all the things around you, those were adventures. So what happened was, Calcutta, because of its urban history from early 19th century, has become pockets of adventure. And what we recreated for Byomkesh was those pockets of adventure. So if you translate that to any other city, you don't find perhaps those many areas of adventure. Each of them has got a distinct architecture, and each of them has got different kinds of people with different kinds of attire. And then the public culture of the coffee houses, of the addas, of the bidi shops, of the carom, of the clubs, gentlemen's clubs, young. So you can see the adventure of the city spilling out. Now imagine if there are 4 or 5 Hyderabadis who by chance come out of Hyderabad and start making films. You will find the same thing happening about Hyderabad, or you will find the same thing about Bombay. And we need some dyed-in-the-wool Bombayite to bring about those pockets of adventure. Bandra, Lamington Road, Andheri, Yevo, and feel the same vibe. The problem with Bombay is that all of us are immigrants. So we don't have the sense of adventure and imagination connected to this city.
And for you, Sujoy, you really use it as a character.
Yeah, because I know the city. As simple as that. I know the city. So if I'm setting a film, and like, all these classic detective stories that we have grown up reading, whether it's a Kiriti Roy or a Byomkesh Bokshi or a Feluda, the city always plays a role. The location always plays a role. Even if you look at a Feluda's book, which Ray wrote, it always starts with Gangtok e Gondogol, something funny in Gangtok. It's always the city where something is happening, or a mission to Vienna, or something happening in Berlin. So I thought if I am going to do a detective story, I should have a city which I understand, which should play a role in the film. And only 2 cities I know was Mumbai and Kolkata. Mumbai has been done a lot, so I thought let me do it in Kolkata, which I really know, and that's how I did Kahani in Kolkata. And also it's a different visual, people get to see, and I thought it's about time we brought Calcutta out, because it's still one of us. I mean, Kolkata is India. I mean, like,
It's not a foreign land.
Yeah, so you should all come and shoot in Kolkata, and there's a lot Kolkata offers, especially given that we have an industry there.
Yeah.
And that's how Kahani got made, because Kahani was fully made in Kolkata. All the people of Kolkata made Kahani. I didn't make Kahani, they made Kahani. And in a budget which was unheard of, in a time which was unheard of. And I thought that was a great thing to do.
That's a huge point.
That there's an industry there.
There's not only that, the budget, you can actually make things.
It's much cheaper to shoot there?
It is much cheaper.
Don't say it aloud on TV, it'll go up now.
No,
I know, absolutely.
it's not cheaper.
It's not cheaper,
It's much more structured. That's what Ray used to say. You have to make commercial cinema with the discipline of regional cinema. If we can achieve that,
correct.
That's a great line.
Yeah, so if we can achieve that, it's a great, giant leap for mankind. Like right now we make commercial cinema like commercial cinema, but if you say regional cinema, they shoot in 25 days, 26 days. I'm saying don't even take 26 days. Even if we take 52 days, that's still an achievement.
the language is also kind of easy for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kolkata works on heart.
On heart, correct. It's absolutely.
What do you mean?
there.
What does that mean?
That
Didn't say calm,
means-
mainly, I tell you what, I'll give you a very strange example. We were shooting in Shialda, and Shialda shooting is like madness. You can't. We had taken it for a few hours. Saif was there, and we were about to shoot, and everything was crazy. I'm waiting for the engine to come. The engine came ulta. Oh, and we got the steam engine from somewhere, somehow we got it, and the engine came ulta. First thing I said, it's not, you can't do this. I mean, नहीं ऐसे ही आता है, बोले नहीं ऐसे नहीं आता है, मुझे सामने देखना है उसको. पहले उस दिन में कभी पीछे नहीं खींचा था, जैसे भी मुझे सामने देखना है. So there was like, नहीं होबे ना. One thing about Calcutta is होबे ना. होबे ना is kind of, ठीक है, it's हो जाएगा.
अच्छा, होबे ना is
almost like हो जाएगा. होबे ना, if somebody says होबे ना, थोड़ा बहुत coaxing के हाँ चिंता करना हो जाए. That hobina I heard, and I heard, hobina mane like Saif is waiting, everything. My shoot is on. What am I supposed to do? Like, I panicked in a way. Part of his were acting. I started screaming. I started screaming at Dinesh Babu, at the coordinator, main producer, जो वहाँ production handle कर रहा था. left, right and center. I was like panicking and I was screaming away. You wouldn't believe it, the station master thought that I might have a heart attack. And it was done in, I think 45 minutes, it came back, ulta karke. So actually, these things work. यहाँ पे ये सब नहीं है.
Nobody cares.
बाहर तो एकदम ही नहीं है. That's what he was saying. कुछ दिल से काम होती है.
You have to be nice to them, you have to be polite to them, you have to treat them with respect, and they'll do anything for you.
But tell me, when you shoot in that city, is it an unwritten rule that Howrah Bridge has to feature?
I think you're shooting something in New York, and my daughter told me, don't show Central Park. Okay, what is it?
Central Park.
Central Park, no? Don't show. Why? No, everybody shows that. But the point is that if you don't take a glimpse of, little glimpse,
it's establishing.
It's establishing. It says lots of things. अब मैं यहाँ पे यदि मैं दिल्ली में बॉम्बे में बैठ के मैं यदि कोई if I make a set which has got to do with something to do with Calcutta, I'll put something which is Calcutta. तो वहाँ पे जाके जो सामने पड़ा है उसको क्यों ना लो? If ज़रूरत पड़े तो. Like when he entered Calcutta, that Howrah Bridge thing, the top portion, that will never change. Okay, that was a real shot, right?
Which one? When Bomkesh is in the bus and
Correct,
you
correct,
see.
yeah, you see that.
Because that's the only thing that I wanted to do. I didn't want to see Howrah Bridge.
It's fantastic, I saw Howrah Bridge from one angle, one face and one full Howrah Bridge somewhere. It just gives you, another thing is that when you are making a Calcutta film, but it doesn't matter. A Bengali film. Okay, they know that it's Calcutta. But when you're outside Calcutta, that whole feeling of the place comes from a thing, which you can't help. But it's nothing. That's a tram. Like trams, abhi almost different ho gaya. Like the tram that he showed one very old tram and a slightly newer tram, which is now very old.
Yes.
Which he must have dragged out of somewhere.
Yes, I did. From and that's where what he says is that the Calcutta Tramways Corporation, they took the oldest two trams and we worked on it again, Hobena to Hobe. We worked on it for 2 weeks, painted it, got it done, and they re-electrified 2 disused tram tracks on BBD Bagh South for us to get that shot of that tram going.
We actually did the same thing in Darjeeling. We got it out of somewhere, वहाँ पे कौन सा garage में 2 वो था, उसको पता नहीं क्या क्या करने पड़ा. Mr. Chopra's 10,000 letters and things like that got that thing out, which is not possible. Again, this is that Hobena culture, but still hobby. होता ही है.
I love that. Hobby na, but still hobby.
I found another very interesting thing. What I realized was that more than any other city in India, probably, the people who govern Calcutta, the policemen, the civil servants, the municipal people and all that, there is a huge amount of Calcutta lovers there. They are writers, they are intellectuals, they are poets. For example, one of the senior most official in Calcutta Port Trust is a great literary enthusiast. So when I went and spoke to him about shooting permission, he started a didactic analysis of Bomkesh and Feluda. So they are all deeply in love with Calcutta and they have another life outside of their jobs, which has got to do with their love of Calcutta. And this I haven't seen in Delhi, this I haven't seen in Bombay.
I mean, everybody has a very artistic side to them.
No, but Sujoy, they're also very famously prickly. I mean, the stereotype of the Bengali is that intellectual Bong who then will say, but this is not right, that is not right. I mean, Sanjay Leela Bhansali got lynched for his use of a few Bengali words in Devdas. How difficult is it for you guys to be authentic and yet talk to mass India? How do you do it?
When we were doing Panita, at that point of time, there was this scene where it breaks the wall. In the actual movie, there is no breaking.
In the actual story.
Right.
There is no breaking of the wall. Not nowhere. This was our own thought कि वो क्या करेगा? डैडी को मारेगा? ऐसा तो नहीं होगा ना? वो क्या करेगा? जाके माँ को बोलेगा, actually in the original story, माँ को बोलेगा तुम जाके कुछ करो. वो क्या करेगा? उसका फ्रस्ट्रेशन निकालने के लिए वी ऑल थॉट कि चलो उसको तिवारी मारते हैं. एंड आई वाज डैम स्केयर्ड कि साला ये ऐसे चेंज किया, भयंकर चेंज, तो कुछ कर डालेगा. मैंने आई बी लाइक लिंक्स कंप्लीटली, खत्म हो जाऊंगा. डोंट बिलीव इट. आई वाज अगेन शूटिंग एन एड जस्ट आफ्टर दैट एंड इनसाइड द वो, एंड इट वाज अबाउट 2 o'clock in the night. And I was doing so. Suddenly I get a call from Ritu Bono. শোন, I have to say this in Bengali, I'll translate it. শোন, বইটা দেখলাম তোর, I seen your movie. খুব ভালো করেছিস, দেয়ালটা ভেঙেছিস। ইডিয়ামে তো এটাই বলে যে দেয়ালটা ভাঙতে হবে, না তো কী করে হবে? ভাই, you have done it's very good that you have broken the wall, because in the idiom of Sarad Babu, breaking the wall is there in every novel. It's a breaking of the wall.
You just made it literal.
Yeah, you know.
No, but
I have a similar experience, a very similar, but a very recent experience. 3 days ago, you know that the Bomkesh in Calcutta, that has been Anjan Dotto has been making Bomkesh, many Bomkeshes, and they've done well also. So when the film exploded in Calcutta, and you know how polarized it got, and there was polemical writing on this side and that side and that side and this side, Anjan Dotto called me up, almost did an interview. Where did you take this from? Where did you take this from? Where did you? And then I gave him from here. Fantastic. Okay, I'm writing something about you. Next day, on the day after that, there was a huge piece in Telegraph where he not defended, I won't even say defended, he explained what is there in my Bomkesh from this point of everything being in Sharadindu. He explained how his Bomkesh is different, and he explained how both the Bomkeshes are valid if you are looking at it from an open mind, from his point of view. Now, this kind of generosity, I don't think in Bombay you will have that polemical generosity. You know what I'm saying?
all of you, of course, speak, Shuddh Bengali. You have a sensibility that is rooted in whatever sense, even if you're a hybrid, even if you're from Delhi. And then, of course, you see non-Bengalis doing Bengali culture in Hindi movies, and Hindi movies have always traditionally treated any
Kolkata's Howrah Bridge.
Right, exactly. Or they do what of course anything south of the Vindhyas is those South Indians, and then you have very, very curious things happening with Tamilians or representation wise. So what is the one movie that you look at that does Bengali culture and you really cringe and you're like,
नहीं देखिए, बहुत हिंदी फिल्मों में ना ये यूज़ किया गया है। लॉट्स ऑफ टाइम्स पीपल हैव यूज्ड लैंग्वेज बंगाली माछी खाचिस, और কি দাদা কেমন লাগছে,
আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি। और बट एनीवे कोलकाता, इट्स ऑलवेज बीन कोलकाता, इट्स नॉट कोलकाता, इट्स कोलकाता। अब तो और भी गड़बड़ हो गया, कोलकाता।
अच्छा, I'm also saying it wrong, holy crap।
No, now in airports, Kolkata।
अच्छा, what is the right pronunciation?
Kolkata। Yeah, now in airports you randomly you keep hearing
Kolkata।
Gangs of Wasseypur?
Or Gunday।
So it is on it. Now the point is that at times you feel you cringe when it's too much of it, but at times you let it go. कि ज़बरदस्ती उसको किया जा रहा है, but sometimes you let it go because that guy is the way we would say Madras is Madras. It's not this lungi पहनते हैं, वही वाला चीज़. We don't know about it so much, but you can जिसको पूरा पता नहीं है, they say something like that, it's okay. But
so you're all politically correct and not name one film.
No, there's no film to name. I can't think of a film.
I will name a film by a maker whose consistency and whose courage actually I've admired a lot, and you might find it surprising. When I saw the portrayal of Bengali, or that that imaginary Bengali world in Sanjay Leela Bhansali's Devdas, I cringed, because that wasn't Bengaliness to me. And then I realized that from the first frame of the film to the last frame of the film, it is consistent.
So it was consistently incorrect.
It is consistent. There is not a drop. Suddenly he is not becoming Gujarati. Suddenly he is not. He is in that imaginary world from the first to the last frame. So I am saying that every creator has this one right and only one right, to do what he thinks is right without cheating.
His own logic.
Without cheating.
You've got to stay true to his own logic.
And from beginning to end. And it doesn't matter if you cringe. Because some people will cringe and some people will embrace.
So
Which
for
is the film?
record,
So which is the film?
Devdas.
Oh, Devdas. Okay.
Achha,
Alright.
So to answer the question, basically what I said was that I cringed at the fact that it was some very how shall I put it? I can't find the word.
If you can't find the word, who can?
Correct. He knows a word like polynemic.
What is power?
I don't know what is
What is?
polynemical.
What is poly?
Polemical.
Sorry.
Polemical mane batelabaji.
See, in Bengali it's so simple.
This nobody knows. This is
See,
Dibakar
polemical
invented.
is, I mean, Dibakar, you have to make a Bengali to English.
Yeah.
A lexicon.
I'm telling you,
polemical.
You also.
Polemical.
No, polynemical.
No, polemical. I got it wrong.
Polemical is batela. Batela is a simple thing. Don't fuck it. Sorry.
Acha, last question. Totally last.
Okay.
What is the one thing that unites all Bengali directors? What's the one trait that you guys just have?
Indigestion.
I would say food and then indigestion.
I mean, that's a common factor. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You would eat and then you would burp.
Or other things.
Or
Like I was
Which I'm leaving polemically
Yeah.
unsaid.
This whole word polemic
Polemical.
is so fantastic, man.
I know, it uses all the body parts. no?
Yeah. This could be an exercise. I mean, this could be an aerobic exercise.
Polemical to aro besi. You know?
No, but so you're all food lovers. That goes without saying.
See, it shows without saying it.
One of the important clues of Byomkesh Bakshi is a digestive medicine. It's a way of life with Bengali, you know, digestive
And
medicine.
even in Piku, it's all about
It's all
releasing
about emotion.
through motion. Yeah. So this is the thing.
Yeah, that's
So
one-
so the alimentary canal is very elementary.
Oh my God.
alimentary, dear Watson.
On that happy note, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And may your tribe increase.
Hopefully, only if they wake up.
Only the wake up.
Only if they wake up, yes.
Thank you for enjoying this great polemical Batela Baji.
You could have
absolutely.
continued. You could have been in Calcutta.
Yeah. We should do it Kolkata. We should do this
It
in
would have never
Kolkata on a
finished.
rock.
Never finished.
would have
As a matter of fact, there would have been few more rounds of tea and all those things.
Lunch would have come, we would have
Lunch
eaten with
would
our
have come,
hands.
yeah.
And then
Obji dubiye khawa means up to here you to completely dubka itna tak.
Hi, Ram.
That's when you eat. You can't eat like this.
Holy hell.
and that's at 2:30, and at 4:30 there's dried food on your hands and you're still talking, you know.
Amazing.
Haath into shuki geche, you know. It's like you've forgotten to wash your hands after, you know, eating with your hands.
So that is Adda.
That's it.
So but still I think it's a
lovely.
fantastic Adda we had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the tea.
Since it's the Bengali New Year, I am here with Sandesh. Is that the correct pronunciation? Sandesh.
You're here with good news.
Okay. I'm here with good news. Let's stick to that.
Yeah,
Please, and a happy New Year.
Thank you, and a happy new year to all of you.
And Pradeep, come on.
Ekটু করে দে তো।
And while they're all eating, you must subscribe to Film Companion, and you have to hit that button below, you know, to get your film fix. Just that
Do you
button. there.
approve of the Sandesh?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Okay, good. So we got one thing right.
ফিল্ম কম্প্যানিয়নকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আর এই ঠিক নিচে যে বাটনটা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন ওটাতে টিপ মেরে দিন তাহলেই আপনি আপনাদের ফিল্ম ফিক্সটা পেয়ে যাবেন